Unfinished with you, Sarah rips CNN's Acosta a new one as he steps out of line. By that conservative girl, Politics U.S. News from AdWorldNews.com. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders sparred with CNN's Jim Acosta this week over the issue of freedom of the press. When Acosta stepped out of line, President Donald Trump's no-nonsense spokeswoman promptly ripped him a new one. Reporters have repeatedly charged that the Trump administration suppresses the media. However, this could not be further from the truth. On the contrary, President Trump has allowed the media unprecedented access to the dealings of his administration. Despite this unfettered access, though, the press has repeatedly chosen to print fake news when they could have easily presented the cold, hard facts. The issue of press freedoms first arose during Wednesday's daily press briefing, thanks to a question from Voice of America White House correspondent Steve Herman. He told Sanders that the U.S. fell to 45th place in the World Press Freedom Index directly because of the president. He then wondered if she agreed that Trump has denigrated freedom of the press in the United States, according to Newsbusters. Sanders replied that the White House would reject that idea, that the president or this administration has halted freedom of the press because we're one of the most accessible administrations that we've seen in decades. She added that merely holding briefings to take questions without knowing them ahead of time is a pretty good example of freedom of the press, and I think it's ridiculous to say otherwise. Then about 5 minutes later, Jim Acosta got his chance to speak. Let's take a quick listen here.
I just want to follow up on Dr. Ronny Jackson. Yesterday, the president suggested that Dr. Jackson does not have the experience to run the Department of Veterans Affairs. Is that a fair assessment? Experience?
That's not what the president said. I think you're taking some of his words out of context, and based on your speech today, I know you don't appreciate when people take your words out of context, so I'd appreciate if you not do that to the president. If he didn't think he had the experience, he wouldn't have nominated. He said that that had been one of the questions that people had posed about him. Obviously, the president thought...
Jackson has all the experience necessary to run the department.
Look, I think he has an incredibly strong background. He's a highly qualified, highly skilled individual, and if he didn't think he was capable of doing the job, he wouldn't have announced his nomination in the...
Why are they always questioning Trump's ability? Here you had Obama stuttering through the whole message, Obama, and believe you me, Obama was given questions prior to the interviews. You know how biased that the media was with Obama. Are you kidding me?
Just follow up if I can. Just a few months, just since you brought up being taken out of context, it seems to be a press-related question. Are you trying to say that this administration is a champion of a free press?
I certainly think that, as I stated a moment ago, we support a free press, but we also support a fair press. And I think that those things should go hand in hand, and there's a certain responsibility by the press to report accurate information. I think a number of people, I'm not finished, I think a number of people in this room do that every single day. They do their very best to provide fair and accurate information. Certainly support that. That's one of the reasons I'm standing here taking your questions. And a lot of times taking your questions in a tone that's completely unnecessary, unneeded, and frankly doesn't help further the conversation or help the American people get any more information in a better way, which is your job and my job, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to move on. David, go ahead.
The president's tone
Jim,
towards the press.
Thank you.
The president's tone towards the press obviously is not helpful at times, and I think that that's plain to see.
A Navy Inspector General had problems with the way Jackson ran his medical office, which is only has...
Absolutely, because the tone, you see, you know, it's exactly that. Like, in other words, we're trying to get the American people more information, it says here, in a better way, which is your job and my job, and that's what I'm trying to do. You know, and they are always bashing, you know, and the tone has to change because the vibes become tense, and that's basically the bottom line. She really gave it to them. The media's disdain for President Donald Trump seems to have derive from the fact that he uses social media to reach people, the American people. Yeah, they don't like that because Donald Trump has one up on them. The president has taken to doing so in order to reach his base without the press adding their 2 cents, thereby distorting the truth. Indeed, reporters like Jim Acosta hate the fact that Trump tweets his perspective on a regular basis because nobody really cares about what Acosta and his cronies at CNN think. But they do care to hear what President Donald Trump thinks. Frankly, Acosta is lucky he still has a job. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders should not have to put up with him and on a daily basis and have to put him in his place every damn day. Absolutely. I totally agree. Like, she always has to come in for a fight every day. Give me a break. Really. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much.